Hey, what's going on, guys? In this tutorial, we are going to discuss the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. So at the end of this tutorial, you will have a clear understanding of what is asynchronous JavaScript and what is synchronous JavaScript. So the agenda of this video is that first of all, we will discuss the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. Then we will implement some of the examples that will explain the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. So we will compare these both of these synchronous and the asynchronous. Then from these diagrams I will explain what is the main concept behind and which is the better. So first of all, let's go to our code editor and let's start from the point 1. So the point 1 is the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. So synchronous JavaScript is the name, as the name suggests, synchronous means to be in a sequence. So as you see, so the name of this synchronous suggests that these will be in this sequence. What does it mean? So it means that every statement of the code gets executed one by one. So basically a statement has to wait for the earlier statement to be executed. So what does it mean? For example, let us we have four functions and we want to implement. So the synchronous JavaScript implement in this way that first of all it will complete the execution of the one function, then it will move to the second one, then to the third one, and then to the fourth one, whereas the asynchronous JavaScript is opposite to it. So let's say what is asynchronous JavaScript. Asynchronous code allows the program to be executed immediately, where the synchronous code will block further execution of the remaining code until it finishes the current one. This may not look like a big problem, but when you see it in a bigger picture, you realize that it may lead to delaying the user interface. So as you see, this definition clearly explains that this is the completely opposite of the synchronous version of the JavaScript. So what is asynchronous JavaScript? So earlier I have provided you the example of four different functions, or we can say four block of codes that executed one by one. Whereas in asynchronous JavaScript, what will happen? These four blocks of code will be executed at the same time. So asynchronous JavaScript doesn't wait for one function or one block of code to complete and then to move to the next one and then to the third one and then to the fourth one. This will be implemented at the same time. So asynchronous JavaScript saves us a lot of time. So let's go to the diagrams, and after explaining these diagrams I will move to the examples. So far with the live examples, by using the file system module, you will clearly understand what is happening behind the scenes. So as you see, in synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript we have four tasks. So for example, first task take 20 seconds, the second one takes 7 seconds, the third one is going to take 10 seconds, and the fourth one 8 seconds. So what does synchronous JavaScript do? So the first step or the first block of code that will take 20 seconds, it will wait for these 20 seconds, and the second, third and fourth steps will not be implemented. So when these 20 seconds will finish, then this synchronous JavaScript will move to the next step, and then it will wait for these 7 seconds to implement this code. Similarly, it will implement this code in this time that will take it to implement this code. Then it will move to the third step, which will take 10 seconds, and then in the fourth step, which will take 8 seconds. So as you see, this code or the synchronous version is working in this sequence. So it waits for the one function or one block of code to be executed, and then it moves to the next step. And now calculate the time it take to run this code, or we can say these steps. So as you said, the total time taken by the task is going to be the 45 seconds. So as you can see, the time taken by the synchronous version to implement these four tasks is going to be the 45 seconds. Now let's discuss the asynchronous JavaScript. So now you see we have the same task with the same timings. Now the difference you can see with the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript is that in the asynchronous JavaScript all of the four tasks implemented at the same time. It means that they will start at the same time. So at the same time both all of these four tasks will be implemented and they will start executing. So first task take 20 seconds, then it will take 7 seconds, third will take 10 seconds, and the fourth one will take 8 seconds. So just look at this third step. So the third step will take 10 seconds. So as you can see, at this point both of all of these tasks will be at this point. So at 10 seconds task 2 and task 4 will be completed. Task third will also be completed and the task 1 will have a 10 seconds of time remaining. So in the beginning 10 seconds both of these three tasks, all of these three tasks which are second, third and fourth one will be implemented. And the first task, the time remaining to implement the first task is going to be the 10 seconds. So what the final result we have? So the final result that we will have is this 20 seconds. So as you can see, there is a completely different in the result that we are getting in the synchronous version and the asynchronous version. Yes. So the asynchronous version takes the less time to execute the same amount of tasks or the same number of tasks because the reason is that in the synchronous version, we will implement one task at a time, whereas in the asynchronous version, all of the tasks will start executing at the same time. So this is the difference that you have to understand between the synchronous version and the asynchronous version. Now you can see a clearly different results when you will use synchronous version and when you will use asynchronous version. So asynchronous version doesn't stop for the one task to be executed. It will move to the next step without waiting for the task to be completed. So let's move to the second diagram. So here is the second diagram. Let me zoom it just a little bit so you can see it clearly. So let's see as I move it here. Now you will see in the left side we have milliseconds. Then I have two blocks, which is the blocking API and the non-blocking API. So the blocking API is basically the synchronous version of the JavaScript when we will use the synchronous version of the JavaScript. And the non-blocking API is going to be the asynchronous version. So the blocking API is going to be the synchronous version and the non-blocking API is going to be the synchronous version. So as you will see on the left side we have begun request 1, then we are waiting for the data to be coming from the database, and then we will end the request 1, and then we will move to the second request, and then we will wait for waiting on database to get the result from the database, and then when we will get the data, then we will end this request and then move to the third request. Now you will see how long it will take because it is executing one step or the one task at one time. Similarly, as we move down with the request 3, request 4, request 5, it has the same implementation. Whereas on the right side with the asynchronous JavaScript, or we can say with the non-blocking API, what you can see is all of these four requests will be starting executed at the same time, and then whatever they time take, it will depend on their timings. Asynchronous version doesn't depend on the timing. For example, if request 1 take 20 seconds, it doesn't wait for these 20 seconds to be executed and then move to the request 2. Whereas what it will do, it will start executing at the same time, and then you can see it will and the request 1, request 2, request 3 and request 4 here. And then now let's compare with the timings. So at 160 milliseconds all of our 4 requests has been implemented, whereas on the synchronous version what we have is we have just at the beginning, or we have just begun the second request and we are waiting for the database. So now you can see a clear difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous version. So you are now understanding how asynchronous JavaScript is better than the synchronous version. Now let's move to downward. Now you can see if we compare the final result here at 500 milliseconds, now you can see with the synchronous version we have just implemented 5 requests, whereas with the asynchronous version we have implemented 13 requests, or we can say 12 requests, and 13 requests is started executed. So this is because of the same principle that asynchronous version doesn't wait for the task to be first task to be executed and then move to the next task. What it will do is it will starting executing all of the tasks at the same time and doesn't wait for the code to be implemented and move to the next step. I have repeated this concept a lot of times so you can clearly understand what is happening and what is the difference between the asynchronous JavaScript and the synchronous JavaScript. Now we have understood these concepts by using the definitions, by using these two diagrams. Now the next step is to start executing and understanding it by using the examples. So let's go to our code editor. Now what I will do is I will use Node.js file system modules to clearly explain with the help of a code the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. In the previous tutorials we have implemented these codes by using the, first of all we have used synchronous version and then we have used the asynchronous version. So first of all what I will do is, so just focus on the code. I will import the file system module from the Node.js by using the require, and then first of all I will create a file which will be the write file. So let's give it a name of data.txt and let's give it some oops now let's give it some data. So let's give it the data of now. So give it a data we are learning the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. So let's give this data to the file. Now open the terminal, clear the terminal, now run the code. So I will use node and index.js. Now when I will run the code you will see the code will execute it and we will create the file. So oops, we are getting the error. Let's see what is the error here. So I will go here and now you'll see it is showing throw error because this is the async version we are using and we have to pass a callback function for it. So let's pass a callback function and here I will log it that file is created. So when you are using the asynchronous version or the asynchronous modules of Node.js, you have to provide it as the callback functions. So the callback functions are must for the asynchronous version or to use asynchronous version. So let's save it. Now what I will do is I will go to the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see when we have run the callback function our file is successfully created and add this directory. Now you can see the data that we have passed it, which are saying we are learning the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous JavaScript. So we have created this file. Now what I will do is, now we will read the data from this file, and by reading this I will explain you the difference with the help of the code that I'm going to write now. So let's comment it out. Let's comment this code. Now first of all I will read the data from this file by using the synchronous version. So by using the read file sync, I will give it the data.txt file name. Then what I will do is I will give it a UTF-8. So what it will do is, the buffer data that we'll get from this file, it will convert it into the readable form. So the data that we'll get is, I will store it into the data variable, and I will also log something here which is start, and then I will at the end I will add the data, log the data, and underneath this I will also log end. So what it will tell us in the terminal that at this point this is code started executed, then it has read the data, then the data will be executed, and then we have at the end this will in the terminal it will print the end keyword, or we can say the string. Oops. So let's go clear the terminal, run the code again. First of all save the file, run the code again. Now you will say this code is implemented in this complete sequence. So what it has done is, first of all it has read or implement this line which is saying console.log start. So first of all we are getting this line, then this variable, the data that we are reading from this data.txt, it has been stored in this data variable, and then we are logging this data. Now you can see this data that we are getting from this, and then in the complete sequence it is implementing. So then it will log this end data, or we can say this end string. So at this point what you can see is this synchronous version will wait for this data to be getting from this file. So it will wait for this, because this is the main concept of the synchronous version. So when I will implement the same code, the same logic with the help of the asynchronous version, you will see the complete difference. So let's comment it out. Now when I will write the code by using the asynchronous methods, you will see the complete difference. So what I will do is I will use fs.read file, not sync this time, because we are using the asynchronous version. Then I will give it the name of the file that I want to read, which is the data.txt. Then I will give it UTF-8 to convert the buffer data into the readable form. Because this is the asynchronous version, now I will give it the callback function, which will contain two parameters, which is the error. If we have some error, then it will be in this variable, and the data that we will get will be in the data variable. Now what I will do is I will use the same steps. For example, at this time it will start, this code start executing. Now what I will do is I will log the data, and then underneath this I will write end. So what it will do is it will tell us when the code has started executing, when the code has reading the data, then it will log the data, and then it will say uh, when this code has ended executing. So run the code again. Now just focus at this place. You will see a clear difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous version with the help of this code. Now I will run this code. Now you will see a clear difference. Now you will see we have the first thing that have implemented is start, which is at the start, and then in the second step it doesn't implemented this code, the code which is reading the file, which is data.txt at and it has implemented this line of code which is end, and at the end it has executed this file. So do you know what's happening here? So the reason is that this file or the reading time that this file is taken or this function is taken is not or we can say the time that is taken is not blocking the next code to be executed. So in the synchronous version at this point it is blocking the next code to be executed. That's why it is waiting for first of all this line of code to be executed, and then when this line will be executed then it will move to the next step. Whereas in asynchronous version what it will do is, so it will first execute the first line and then it will see that this code is taking much more time, so it doesn't wait for that time. For example, let's say it takes 5 milliseconds, so it doesn't wait for 5 milliseconds for this code to be executed. It will move to the next line, implement this, and then after 5 seconds it will implement this code. So this is the main difference between the synchronous version and the asynchronous version in JavaScript. So we have all with the help of examples you have clearly understood what is the main difference. So first of all we have learned about with their definitions, with the diagrams, and then we have moved to these examples, and I hope you have clearly understood the main concepts between the JavaScript is synchronous JavaScript and the asynchronous JavaScript. So this is the very important step in learning JavaScript, in learning Node.js, and implementing Node.js core modules. And when we will move later, for example, when we will create REST APIs, or we can say in this course, which is the master Node.js course, this is the fifth video, and now this is the basics. In the next step, I will move to the advanced topics. Then I will cover the complete Express.js topics, and then we will create a real world projects by using the Express.js and Node.js. So these are the basics of the Node.js, the synchronous version, the asynchronous version, by using the synchronous version of Node.js core modules, or you want to use the asynchronous versions depending on the situations you want to tackle. So I hope you have understood this concept. So if you have any struggles in understanding this concept, tell me in the comments. I will resolve your issues in these concepts, and also tell me in the comments what you have learned from this video and what kind of projects you want in the future, or what kind of videos you want in the future. So if you want to learn JavaScript, I have also playlist of JavaScript projects, so you can see here in this channel the playlists folder. And also I'm making a course on data structures and algorithms. So if you want to learn, if you have an interest in data structures and algorithms, you can also see that course on the playlists. And also there are different courses going on which are using the HTML CSS projects. I think I have already created 10 to 15 complete websites by using the HTML CSS, and there are different steps or different projects. And in future I have a complete plan of focusing on Express.js, Node.js, data structures and algorithm, JavaScript related stuff. And also in future I have a plan to start a React.js course also. So these are some of my ideas. So if you want to learn something about with JavaScript, or any kind of things, or any kind of projects you want in the future, you can tell me in the comments. I will try to make videos on these ones. So if you learn something new from this video, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends that want to learn these kinds of things, and also subscribe to this channel, and also comment to this video that what you have learned from this video. So this is the end of the tutorial. Have a nice day. Bye.